Are you new to ESL and just trying to find a way to farm some gear, or get some more gold, or some items, or just want to try a new build for farming? Well, stick around and I will show you the newest build I've come up with for beginners and how to start farming. Hey everyone, it's Crucefyds, and welcome to another edition to my series on Elder Scrolls here on Crucefyds Reign. Let's get started with the class. As you'll see, but this character is a Nord. I just really like Nords because I use this character for several different roles. He goes between being my AoE PvE farmer, as well as my PvP sorcerer negate utility tank. So Nord fits well with that setup. But you're able to, depending on what you want to roll, you can use Orc, help speed it up, go fat, get a little bit faster with it because of speed, so you can sprint between it. Just it's really up to what you want to do. Let's get into that. Let's get into the equipment. So for my front bar dual wield weapons, I'm using 2 daggers of the Night Mother, and I'm running them. I'm running the 2 daggers because they increase weapon critical from having daggers, and the Night Mother's Gate set works well because it also has a weapon critical. Back bar, you can use whatever boy you need to. Best in slot would be the Maelstrom bar, just because it helps increase volleys damage over time. But you can use masters for killing bosses faster. Just whatever your preference is, what you want to use. We're using Grothars for the monster set. And that is mainly because of the AoE proc that happens with it. It really helps clear trash waves. It's super fast. Not really worried about what the traits are. As you can tell, like this has got a training on it. I'm using Hunting's Rage for the armor. And it's crafted, so is Night Mother, so it's all super easy to obtain. The hardest things to get would be your monster set. That's it. Everything else you can get crafted from this, and the jewelry. But I'm running divines on all these, and this set also increases weapon critical, max stamina, weapon critical again, and weapon damage. So it's a lot of damage and a lot of crit. I'll get into more why we're building so much crit with this build once you get further into the skills. As you can see, all divines. This needs to be rolled because it's not divines, and this one needs to be rolled at some point. But as you can see, it's not min-maxed, and I don't need it to be. It works great the way it is. But for jewelry, this is what really helps the build shine. I'm running Vengeance Leech, and it adds 1,164 health. And with 3 items, whenever you kill an enemy, you heal for 2,297 health and restore 2,089 magicka and stamina. This right here makes it amazing to do trash waves. You can go and do areas like Skyreach with this because of that, and it helps keep your sustain up and your survivability. You can go do zombies down in the sewers if you want to farm some Telvar. There's countless things you can do with this base of this thing, and it helps. It's like a cheap man's version of what you would get for your endgame sets. And this all here is the stuff I use on a day-to-day basis on this character to farm. So it's not me just trying to give you some, here you go, this works from time to time. No, this is what I use. This is how I farm all my stuff. Alright, let's get into the skills. On the dual wield bar, we've got Steel Tornado, which is a very, go-to skill. Everybody knows why. The radius on it is amazing, and it's an AoE attack that helps clear trash waves. Next, we are running Barb Trap. We are running this to help with boss. This helps you take down the boss when you get into boss fights, just to get some more single target damage with it. Since a lot of this build is AoE, And this helps here with that quite a bit. It's really nice. You can see it adds a nice dot that happens to it, and it gives you a minor force, which also increases your critical damage, which is really nice by 10%. Look at that. Next, we are running Bloodthirst. We are running this for single target, as well as it helps heal. It's a good way to do sustain on bot when you're doing a boss fight, because whenever you attack, your last hit will heal for 69%, or deals 300% more damage, and will heal you for 69% of the damage cost, which is really nice. Like you can, and it's about the 5 attacks. Speaking, you can pretty much, once you're used to using the build, you can time when the attacks will happen too, so you know exactly when that heal will happen. It's really nice. Next, we're using Deadly Cloak. We're using this yet again to increase our amount of AoE damage we put out, and it also gives you minor evasion, helping you avoid damage that you take too, reducing damage from area attacks by 25%. Super nice. Alright, we're using Dark Deal. This is here to help deal with your mana or your stamina sustain if you have to when you're doing boss fights, or if you're not really paying attention to how you're doing your resources or your rotation. And we're using Rend. This is amazing. I use this all the time in Trash Waves. It does an AoE attack and bleed on all enemies in front of you that it hits, and it heals you for 55% of the damage done. So it's another way of healing and doing AoE damage. Look at that. It's quite a lot of healing and a lot of AoE damage in this build. And it refills quickly when you're doing large trash pull waves. It's ridiculous. Like it's up a lot. Alright, moving to the back bar on the bow. We have Poison Injection. This is a go-to skill here. Everybody knows why you run this. Especially with boss fight, this is what you do. You make sure you always have this up, because you deal 100% more damage to enemies under 50% health when they're poisoned with this. It's a dot. We got Endless Hail here. Another AoE dot that goes on that you can throw down there. Help do more damage to the enemies. This is a skill that if you had the Maelstrom Bow, this would increase the damage done by it. And Resolving Vigor is a nice little burst heal if you need to have it. And if you don't ever have to use it, you can easily swap it out for anything else that you think would be good. Like you can use spikes or anything. There's a lot of different options you can use. I just use this for when it starts getting a little... Every once in a while you might experience some slight lag or anything like that, and it gets a little choppy. This is good for those moments. And of course, running Hurricane. You cannot go wrong with Hurricane. Deals damage over time and AoE around you, and the damage increases as it gets bigger. And while it's active, you gain Minor Resolve, Minor Expedition, which increases your physical and spell resistance by 5,280, and your movement speed is increased by 10%. Like, yeah. I love that skill, and it looks cool. The animations for it are just amazing. I love it. Critical Surge. This right here is the key to farming enormous pulls with this. This right here is an amazing skill. It's overlooked by a lot, but oh, it's so good. So when it's active, you increase your weapon and spell damage by 20% for 33 seconds. But also, with the Critical Surge choice picked, while active, dealing critical damage heals you for 3,630 health. And this effect can occur once every 1 second. So, you get your crit up, and you're healing with your crit goes up, and then also you increase your amount of AoE attacks and whatnot. That's a lot of healing happening. A lot. Just think about it, you know? I'll go through and show you guys what I have for my passives too. As you can see, I'm not using Werewolf at all. It's for a build I had previously. I just have never taken Werewolf off him because I haven't had to use it for anything. Now if I was to get this Mage's Guild up higher, it would be nice to help potentially put like meteors on the bar for an option, but don't need it. Oh, I totally forgot to mention it. And we are also using Absorption Field for the ultimate on the back bar. It's nice last second AoE healing if you need to do it. Works for you, and it works well in groups. If it's getting a little crazy with pulls, drop this down, removes all the enemy effects, and heals everybody for 1,185 health every 0.5 seconds. So it's very fast ticking healing. But let's finish showing what I'm doing. I'm still in the process of working up, leveling up Undaunted to get my medal, so I can get the second skill in there to further increase my stuff, and then move from a 5 medium 2 heavy to a 5 medium 1 heavy 1 light. But until I get that second point into Undaunted medal, I'm just doing 2 heavy. Alright, let's get into champion points so I can show you what I've got set up for my trees. Release the break free for when you're in fights, when you get stunned. Increases when you're heavy attacks, because I heavy attack for in between a lot of my skills. You gotta have the dodge roll up, helps increase that, makes it easier to get out of ground effects that would otherwise be very damaging to you. Reduce the cost of block for when you're doing boss fights. We need to make sure you can block their unblock or their charged attack. Increases your healing done. Yeah, of course. Point doesn't need to be there. I don't know why I put it there. Just never changed it. Increases your damage done by direct damage attacks. Increases your damage done to enemies with a damage shield. Increases your physical poison and disease damage done. Increases your physical penetration. Increases your critical damage and critical healing with stamina abilities by 20%. Super nice. Love it. Ironclad. I have nothing resistant because I don't do PvP on this with this build currently build set up, because I don't PvP on them, so I don't need crit resistance because NPCs don't crit, so you don't have to worry about that. Alright, well, there you have it. That would be the conclusion of this build. If you'd like to, well, actually I can go out and show you guys what I do for a quick rotation before I move this. But yeah. Buff up, crit surge, endless hail, deadly cloaks, and then you just spin and weave. Spin the wind. Spin the wind. Now would be the rotation. That's for just trash. Now if you're doing a boss, I'll just do it with this. Same setup. And then you drop your rearmament trap right at the end of there. And then you just weave it in with this. Cool. And then once the rotation's done, you switch back over. Drop you there. Do your poison arrow. With hurricane. Critical surge every other rotation. Gets 30 seconds. Deadly cloak again, army trap, and then get your stuff going. Alright, well, that concludes the build I have here for my total AoE-ness beginner's build for farming. Next, you'll be seeing some gameplay clips of this build in action throughout different content. You'll see me doing a sky reach run on vet, clearing and showing that you can power level other players for money if you want to, or just do it for gold, or to grind champ levels. And then you'll also see me running through a spindle clutch 1 on vet, showing you that you can do dungeons solo as well. Just gotta make sure you select dungeons that don't have boss mechanics that you can't solo, which unfortunately I forgot and did with Spindle Clutch, so you do not see the last fight because you cannot beat her as a solo. But any of the dungeons that do not have those mechanics, you can solo on this no problem, as you'll see in the video clips. Alright, well, thank you again for stopping by and checking out my video. Hope you enjoyed it. If you have any ideas for builds you'd like to see or content, feel free to comment below. Don't forget to like, subscribe to the channel. Thank you again. Till next time.
More guests. Welcome. The others have already started their meal. I'm conquering the spirit. I'm nothing to the ceiling. I'm following your lead. I'm following the feeling. I'm conquering the spirit. I'm nothing to the ceiling. I'm following your lead. I'm following the feeling. I'm conquering the spirit. I'm nothing to the ceiling. I'm following your lead. I'm following the feeling. Conquering the spirit. I'm nothing to the ceiling. Nothing to the ceiling. Nothing to the
thoughts get thrown around, but we keep going on believing, and on till we're all cried out, 'cause we don't feel like throwing it all away. We don't feel like it. This time it's not about escaping. going on believing. And you were all cried out. 'Cause we don't feel like throwing it all away. We don't feel like it. But this time it's not about escaping. We don't feel like it. We don't feel like it. 'Cause we don't feel like throwing it all away. We don't feel like it.
I know it's been a while. I know you're thinking the same, but I've been feeling like a moment can't go to waste. I let go of your name, girl. I figured that was it. I stopped playing your game, girl. Yeah, I thought I could quit. I'm all up in my head, I'm sorry for what I did. Wish I could have it unsaid. Just make it right instead of treating me like I'm dead. Is it too late to call it?
trying to